Hey, what's up guys? This is Anthony from Anthony's Customs, and the review I want to give you today is the CRYOTUBE Master Chief Halo 4 Series 1 Cryonic Master Chief with the CRYOTUBE, or something like that. You know, they have like 4 different names on these figures nowadays, but it's a CRYOTUBE and Master Chief's inside. Pretty cool. I do wish that you could see his head a little bit better from the outside. It does stand at an angle, as you can see. The base is at an angle, but the way it's designed, and it might be 100% game accurate, I don't think it is, but it might be. We'll see when the game launches. You can't see the head. Now I'm looking even lower than you would be normally, because my head's higher than the camera, so the camera's giving you even a better shot than I'm getting, and you can't see his head through the window at all, which I don't think is right. You have to turn it a lot before you can see his head, so I don't care for that, but it's not a huge deal. Let's talk about this thing first, and then we'll talk about the figure that it comes with. It stands 9 inches tall. Decent paint application, lots of dry brushing to simulate wear and tear. A couple different shades of gray throughout, some silvers, that kind of thing. Good sculpt work everywhere. Not really too much to complain about. It has a yellow light down there. Of course, it's just painted. It's not actually a light. And the number 16, which is nice and clean and nicely done. The frost on the glass, or clear plastic, it's supposed to be glass, is not the best. You can see some overlay. I don't know if it's showing up at all. It might not be. Where you can see the one bit of the sticker or paint application decal is overlaid over the other one, so it's darker in a couple spots there and there. And it's not really frosted looking, it just kind of looks like paint application. So I don't care for that too much, but it's not bad. It's okay. It's definitely satisfactory. It does open up, of course. Kind of tricky to get at, but if you grab it up here, it's the easiest. You pull it forward a little bit like that, and then you can snap it up like that, and then you can get to Master Chief. He just kind of stands in there. Nice detailing inside. I don't think you can probably see that too well with the lighting. It just looks like a big cushiony thing, and that's really it. There's no peg holes or anything, so not a whole lot going on, but you probably aren't going to worry about the insides of it too much, is my guess. So let's go ahead and close that up, set that aside. Just for comparison purposes, Master Chief is that tall compared to the CRYOTUBE. So they're both on the same ground, and he's about half as tall. So it's a pretty good size piece, and especially for the price tag, it's a nice deal. It's only about $25 at Target. Now this is the Cryonic Master Chief. He is not the same figure that we reviewed from the 4-pack. It's the same sculpt and everything, but he's got a much darker paint application, and he's got the frost on him. It looks like, instead of doing the metallic dry brush like they normally do, or maybe in addition to that, can't quite tell for sure, but they have like a white frosty looking dry brush on it, which actually looks really cool. And this, in my opinion, this figure looks a little bit cooler than the other one, no pun intended, just because of the darker green and then the dry brushing. It really stands out nicely. He stands just like all the other ones, about 5 3/4 inches tall. He comes with the grenade pistol. Don't know too much about that yet. Hopefully we'll get some more information about the new weaponry soon. But he holds it pretty well. It's a little tricky to get his hand in there because you have to stretch out the fingers, but he can hold it, and I just popped it out. Since there's no trigger guard on the gun, getting the non-trigger finger in there is okay. It's not too bad. The gun could use a little bit more detailing, I think. The sculpt seems okay, but the paint, it's all just pretty much one color with a little bit of dry brushing, so could look a little nicer. It does have a weapons peg hole in the grip, and he comes with a weapons peg that I have in his back. There's a hole back there and a hole on each thigh. As far as articulation goes, head is on well, I haven't popped the head off yet, so I can't say 100%, but I believe it's a double ball peg, so one in the bottom, one in the top, so you can get extra movement out of him. It might just be a single peg. I haven't opened up any of these new figures yet, but either way, plenty of motion. Same iridescent gold visor, so that's pretty nice. Shoulders are on the ball disc with a ratchet, so nice ratchet there. Full motion that way. Bicep swivel is built into the elbow joint. It swivels at the bicep and at the forearm with the ratchet for the elbow, so plenty of range of motion there. Same joint for the wrist, ratcheted, and it swivels at both parts. Same on both sides. torso is connected with either a single ball peg or a double ball peg. Again, like I said, I haven't taken it apart, but either way, you get plenty of range of motion out of it, so it doesn't really matter what it is, and it always looks good. Even on the back, even though you can kind of see a little bit of the insides, it's really not too bad. And definitely on the front, it's fine. So really nice work there. Same horrible hip articulation as before. It's an old school ball peg with a little bit of extra motion in the peg, but really you don't get any articulation value out of it. It's very, very limited in just about every regard. I don't care for that at all. I don't get it. It's a step backwards compared to everything else, so it's really disappointing. But it is what it is, I guess. So the knee is ratcheted and then it swivels in the thigh. There's no swivel in the shin for that joint, so just the two parts. The ankle is the same as the wrist and the elbows. And then the toe joint is just a standard ball peg. So it's pretty limited, but it is still there. So do whatever you like with that. He's got the new armor design, obviously, since it's Halo 4 Master Chief. Personally, I'm a huge fan of this new design. I think once we all get used to it, it'll be just fine. I know a lot of people are saying it doesn't look like Chief, but it'll be alright. Just give it some time, people. But the figure, regardless of whether or not I like the design, is a great figure. The only real problem with it is the new hip articulation. So not too much of a dynamic posing option there, but it still poses well enough and it looks great. So there's the Master Chief with the CRYOTUBE, and really it's worth it. I think it's a ridiculously good value for only $25. You get a nice figure and the CRYOTUBE, which is a decent sized piece, and it looks really good. So how can you go wrong, right? Alright guys, thanks for watching. Like I said, I do recommend this figure. I also recommend that you watch some more videos that are coming in the near future and go back and check out some of the older ones too. Why not? Thanks again guys, and in the meantime, keep collecting.